We rolling? Good. Okay, so with the dark and the wounded, people are asking me why I'm doing this. Like, I'm putting my heart and soul, my finances, everything into this exhibition. And I honestly feel that we're at such a crucial point in our history as human beings on the planet that, if we don't do something, we're in trouble. There was an analogy put out a while ago about as a species on the planet, we're in a car, driving at like 600 miles an hour, heading for a brick wall, and we're all arguing about, who's sitting where in the car. We're not aware enough about what's going on around us. And for me, I guess I've always been aware of what's been going on around me. As a child, I grew up in an extremely violent household. My father was a violent alcoholic, and there was a lot of physical abuse that happened. There was a multitude of times where I thought I was going to die as a child, and I spent a lot of my childhood running away from home and hiding, sleeping in construction sites at the age of 7 or 8. Crazy stuff, just survival, going into survival mode, which a lot of people have done, for sure. I survived my childhood, and I survived my childhood with my sister, who went through similar things as I did. And when I was 19, she had just turned 21, and she was murdered in New York City. And that was a real eye-opener for me, because I had to go get her body and bring it back. And I was 19 years old, and it just opened my eyes to reality, the real reality. Not the rose-colored glasses reality, but the real reality of life. And there's a lot of terrible things out there. There's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of bad things that occur. And I realized that a lot of people were building their lives behind this wall so that none of that darkness would get in. But it's everywhere, and it permeates walls. It goes into families. We had this nice manicured lawn and nice shiny washed cars on our driveway, and, nice garden in the back. And behind those closed doors, there was just pure hell going on. And even when I finally broke my silence and, talked to the counselor at school, it was ignored. People didn't even want to talk about it. Just terrible. When my sister died, it really opened my eyes to what was really happening. And, when I was in the detective's office talking to him, I had, got her belongings, and there's a stack of file folders on his desk. And he had told me that if there wasn't a break in the case in the next 2 days, it'd go cold case, because all those file folders, that giant stack, were all murders that he had to get to. And that, again, my eyes were completely open to what goes on in the world and this darkness. I'm not saying everything is dark, because life is both. There's both sides to it. But as a society, if we only try and look at the good and we don't want to see the bad, and who wants to see the bad? I mean, I get it. But it is out there. And it doesn't heal unless we change it. If there's an abused child and we turn our back, that child will continue to abuse, and there's a ripple effect. That child will grow up and abuse their children. There needs to be some sort of healing that occurs. When 9/11 happened, I was in utter shock. Like the rest of the world, I was glued to the television, and I could not believe my eyes when the plane flew into that building. I just felt, seeing people standing in the windows screaming for help, waving flags 90 floors up, and then jumping to their deaths. Like, it's just unbelievable. And at that point, again, my whole world changed again, and I thought, I need to do something. As an artist and a human being, I need to make an impact. And I've always dedicated my part of my life to helping. I work with kids with cancer. I've donated and spent my time and volunteered and given art supplies and lessons and, worked with children, sick children, underprivileged children. I've worked in Harlem and New York. I've worked on the downtown east side in Vancouver. I've gone to a multitude of children's hospitals around North America and helped out. And still it feels like it's not enough because I keep opening the newspaper and I keep seeing tragedy occur day after day. There's continual horrific things that happen. And it's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. And we're running out of time. We're here for such a short amount of time on the planet. And this is the only planet that we live on. We are on the top of the food chain as a species, and we're not getting the message here. We need to change the way we think. It's not working. All you have to do is pick up a newspaper and look what's occurring continually. People abducting school children, little children being raped and murdered. The environment, the polar caps are melting. There's so much going on. By choosing to ignore it, it's not helping the situation. And we're going to smash into that wall, doing 300 miles an hour in our car, unless we apply the brakes and stop and look what's going on, look what's happening right in front of us. And that's what we need to do. That's what I'm trying to do as an artist. If we really stop and think, what are we doing on the planet here? Yes, it's just a miracle that we're here. And we're all connected. We're all part of the human race. And as a species, we're just messing things up big time. So we need to create some change and some awareness. It's like an alcoholic. An alcoholic will not change unless they come to the awareness that they are an alcoholic. And that's the first step. You have to accept who you are and what's going on. We are not accepting what's going on the planet. We're turning a blind eye, and that is just wrong. It's wrong to do that. And it's all our responsibilities. And if we all pulled together, we could actually create change. And we've done it at different points in our history. And there are people working hard at it right now, but we need everyone to start participating and opening their eyes and seeing what's going on. We're running out of time. That's how I feel. And I feel, again, we're here for such a short time. What are we doing? What are you really doing on the planet here? This is a total blessing to be here. Many people are very unhappy. They're living life. They're living life the way they feel they should. We live in an age of technology. In seconds, we can see what's going on around the world. News, we see these children are abducted. We see that, thousands of First Nations women are abducted and gone missing. If we just put our foot down and say, enough is enough. We need to stop and do something. And that's why I'm doing The Dark and the Wounded. This show is about creating awareness for everything that's happening and going out of our comfort zone, because that's what it takes. When we live in our little cozy bubbles in our life and nothing permeates and we think everything's good and we have plans for our future and we have it all mapped out. But that's not the way the world works. It's an illusion. The future's an illusion. We have the moment. The present moment now is all we have. And we're going to do something later. It's all going to occur later. The fact is we're all going to die. It's the great equalizer. All of us are on the planet for such an incredibly short amount of time. It's a blip. So what are we doing here? We have this belief that we're going to be here forever. We're not. We're here for a short time and we will all die. We don't know how we're going to die, but we will die. What legacy are you leaving behind? What are you doing? I'm trying to make a difference in the world. That's what I'm trying to do. And it'd be great if more people joined in. And the people that have come to the exhibitions have found it extremely profound. There's been changes. When we first did this, doing the Dark and Wounded exhibition, I had no idea how people were going to even react, because the reaction I got initially was very negative. And when we saw people go into the exhibition and have this epiphanies and start connecting with themselves and going through and coming out crying and emotional and having that emotional impact, that's when change occurs. It's the same thing. You scoot through your life and nothing's going on, and then you find out you got cancer. Watch how your life changes. You're out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm trying to do without the cancer. Let's get out of our comfort zones for a second. Let's really look inside and see what's going on. That's how change occurs. You know, if we all acted that way, we'd totally change the world. We would. I'm a crazy optimist. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the human race because at times I think we're completely doomed. I throw my hands in the air, and other times I just love people. I love certain individuals and what they're doing and the capacity, what we have, the capacity for change and the way we think. We have this incredible, unique ability to be aware, and we choose not to be aware. That's the problem. That's my ramble.